Monday morning. Welcome to Special Report. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I'm here with Colette Linden, and I'd like to thank KC Securities, our title sponsor here for both the morning and midday special reports. When I arrived here this morning, Daniel, the owner of KC Security, was actually outside the building.
When I got here, there was two of them. I thought something big was happening.
Yeah, so I arrived.
Or you were being arrested. One of the two.
There was another guy there too in a SUV as well, and I was like, uh-oh.
Trouble has ensued.
Hope nothing happened, but no, it was good. We socially distanced ourselves and took a little bit of a selfie there. So
That's
a little
nice.
bit different morning for KC Securities for their sponsorship. So thank you very much. And
I never take selfies.
I'm horrible at them.
I'm
As you can tell, I only got like one of my eyes and in my ear.
I'm too insecure about myself for selfies. You know what I mean? And be like, oh God, up higher, and then I just want to have.
And then you're like, oh, my arm's not long enough.
Yeah. And then the selfie stick comes into play, and then I'm not going to those. I am not taking those measures to take a picture of myself.
Selfie sticks were hilarious. People walking around with them. It's like, you look like a moron.
Well, listen, I've got a KC Security story for you, but I want to know how your weekend was. But just let me tell you about this. So on Friday when we left work.
Yes.
My darling two sons and I took ourselves off to the Bank of Montreal in Cambrian Mall.
Wow, that's the way to kick off the weekend.
It was exciting.
Sounds fun.
We were excited.
That's every 9-year-old's dream, going to the bank.
You know why he went? Because while I was in the bank...
He wanted money.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
While I was in the bank, Connor took him over to get Popeye's chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a method to the madness. Anyway, let me get to my story, man.
I'm sitting here.
So we're driving and we see this buggy.
A buggy?
A buggy, a shopping cart.
Oh, okay.
Just taking its way, and the wind started picking up, as did the speed of the buggy, and there's a nice shiny Infinity not too far away. Well, the security guard from KC Security, who was standing outside the BMO, he bolts across the parking lot, and I'm telling you, it was this far away from just smashing into that Infinity. So everyone, please put your shopping carts away, because, the car owners are on the hook for that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, way to go, KC Security. That was awesome.
That's over and above beyond
he was
normal
a big
security.
Dude. It was. This was as other duties as assigned, as they say, right? What'd you do this weekend?
Went up to that apple fritter place.
Yes.
I think it's called... What is it called? Voyageur. Yes.
Danielle hates having two rookies.
I just call it the apple fritter place.
These two Southern Ontario rookies. Danielle's like, oh, eye roll. Yeah, anyway, how was that?
That was good. The second time I went there for apple fritters, awesome. Yeah. I greatly suggest.
How many did you have?
Just one. I mean, they're huge.
Baloney.
They're huge. They're like there's a.
Yeah, Danny said that. She said to share it, and you're like, no, I'm not sharing.
Well,
remember? I remember.
It did take my girlfriend and I 2 days to finish them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fritter.
Yeah, and then we went to the ice cream place just north as you're heading out of town there too.
Okay.
On Sunday, so.
Oh, you went to the Trading Post?
Trading Post, yes. I know where I went. I just don't know what it's called. I can get there, which is the important part.
Yeah, I did not get to go to the beach and read books because it was not beach weather.
It was like 14 degrees.
Yeah. I did sit outside for a while. Saturday, I had a great little workout session, and I had my own little special place that I'm not going to say because it was quiet and nobody was there and the sun was shining and it was beautiful. But yeah, so that was my weekend. Nothing exciting. How about you, Danny? What'd you do?
Well, this weekend I went up to Makwan Lake, which is a portage, so it took us about 3 hours to get to this little island, and we camped out for the night, and it was a lot of fun. We did some fishing, and the weather was beautiful for us, so I am going to dive into today's weather.
Hang on, before you get into the weather, my bad, our bad.
Really?
We should sing happy birthday to Danny. Danny's birthday was on Saturday. We didn't say anything about it on Friday or anything about it on Monday. So happy birthday, beautiful Danny.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Happy birthday.
We hope you had a good day.
She just turned 18. So
yeah, I did.
18, guys.
Yeah, she just turned 18.
Okay, birthday girl. What's the weather got for us today?
So today, if you're outside, it's a little bit cloudy, it's a little bit humid, but currently we are at 15 degrees, and that's going to be going to a high of 23 this afternoon. It's going to be mainly sun and clouds. It's going to be a clear night tonight with a low of 14. When we head on into Tuesday, it's going to be a high of 32, or Yes, high of 32, so it is going to be very, very high. What? But with the humidity, it's going to feel like 34, so just remember there's always that little humidex. The low for Tuesday is 18, and it's going to be 18 into the evening. It's going to be a sunny morning and sunny mainly into the afternoon. But Wednesday, this is our chance of thunderstorms. It's going to feel like 25, but it's going to, it's going to be 25, but it feels like 32. Again, the humidex, and there is that chance for a thunderstorm, so be prepared. And heading into the evening on Wednesday, it's going to go down. It's going to be a little bit cooler, so it's going to go down to 11. But the next few days, I mean, we've been talking about the storm coming in for how long now? So finally, we're going to get our thunderstorm Wednesday. So, but who knows? Again, that could change. But for more, back to the desk.
Awesome job. I love thunderstorms, and more so, I love the humidex. So
yes,
30 and higher is perfect for me.
Are you going to have your Thunder Buddy with you?
My Thunder Buddy.
Thunder Bunny.
What the heck's that?
Have you guys not watched the movie Ted?
Ted?
Oh.
Thunder Bunny?
Yeah.
Thunder
sorry.
Buddies?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And there's
Didn't register.
Ted 1 and Ted 2.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Okay, don't act all
They're
cool
movies.
again. He's trying to act cool again. You're old, okay? Stop it.
You're actually older.
No, I am by a few months. Okay,
Yeah.
we have some news. I'm moving on. I don't like this conversation. I don't like that direction, and I'm ending it right now because I can't. So, unfortunately, there was a manhunt last night in Kingston area. 42-year-old Brian Daniel Mosher, and we do have a picture of him that was just shared. Central Frontenac went a little bit.
Was he breaking in the mailboxes?
No, they were searching for him after shooting in a fire that he started on Sunday. Apparently, they had to shut down a certain area and obviously put up some roadblocks. So he is on the run right now. They're looking for him.
Oh, they haven't found him?
No. He's still on the run. So that was last night at 8:30, I think. So
Wow.
Also. We talked a little bit about this on Friday, and this is quite upsetting. Was the news that you can use the defense that you're highly intoxicated in sexual assault cases. So in a statement made in Saturday, for the Ontario Attorney General, the prosecution wanted to top court to hear a challenge about this. Andrea Horvath is extremely proud of this turnaround, that they want to come back and go back to the courts and say, hey, no, you cannot use blackout drunk as a defense for sexual assault. Again, this
Well, it becomes a defense for all kinds of things. I mean, it literally
impaired
makes
driving.
every impaired driving charge like, well, I couldn't help it. I was drunk, so I should get off.
But it's not just drunk, Chris. It's blacked out drunk. They really have stressed that in the thing. I know.
It's still drunk,
It's
right?
absolutely drunk.
It's just super drunk.
Apparently went psychotic, went on a violent rampage. This is two men, Thomas Chan and David Sullivan, who had either killed or injured close family relatives too. We're not talking about, not that makes any type of murders, obviously not, right? But this had to do with all the Indigenous and the rural communities that the federal government said that they're going to try and help out. So we're going to have more about that story and a lot more stories after we return from this commercial break.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern People's Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
Welcome back. Thank you, Casey Security, for your sponsorship. What's going on Facebook?
Yeah, well, Daniel from Casey Security says hi, and then he also said, Lance, you got to mention too. So
Hi, Lance Romaine.
hello, Lance.
Lance Romaine.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Why not?
Sure, we'll go with that. Alrighty. This is Welcome to Live TV, folks. This poll just came out about Biden versus Trump. Right now, Biden is sitting at 55%. To Trump's 41%. The last
Those are big numbers.
time
Early numbers, though.
Yeah, just reading here, just quickly. The last time there was that much of a difference was the approval ratings for both Jimmy Carter and George H.W. Bush in the re-election years, both of which lost.
Jimmy Carter was president when we were born.
Yes,
Did
he
you know
was.
that?
And then he lost right after we were born.
Yes, he did.
Yes. So, yeah. Trump's approval ratings are so bad that it's going to be hard for him to win. And only 38% of Americans approve of Donald Trump as the president. So those are just a little top line numbers from that. Welcome to live television. Now back to our script. Okay.
Okay, well, just on that, let's just say, because
Yes.
Danny was just saying something interesting
Snoop
about
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. You want
Yes.
to tell everybody there, Dan?
Yeah, so Snoop Dogg the other day said that he's going to vote only because he wants to get Trump out of office, and I guess little joke's been around that they've been calling him Punk Trump. So it's been very interesting to even see the dynamic and to see some celebs kind of stepping up and be like, no, we got to change this, we don't want this. So good job, Snoop Dogg. Back to the desk.
Gotta love some Snoop. Love Snoop.
Yes. And good morning to Jacqueline as well, who just liked our Facebook video on Facebook Live, where we are right now. Okay, so last week I interviewed Lisa Vezeau-Allen. This is the last part of that interview aired Friday night. It's also now up on Facebook video as of this morning. It'll also be on YouTube later today, but here's a clip from that interview. How can, I mean, it's very difficult right now for people to travel around Canada and to come here and spend their tourist dollars. But as we do start to reopen, how do you see, how can we get that tourism industry to bounce back where people will want to, travel, a fair distance to get here? I mean, it's, we're 3 hours from Sudbury, Thunder Bay is like 6-7 hours away. Then there's basically one way to get here, or you fly in and there's no flights right now. How do you see tourism being part of our economic recovery?
I think we have a lot to offer in terms of tourism, and that is a big component that was part of Tom's report at the May 25th Council. So certainly, please take a look at it. And I think we're going to see people driving. No one wants to go through the airport or get on planes right now. It's not going to be as people say, as enjoyable as it used to be. A lot of protocols in place. So just for what we have to offer in terms of space, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, the North Shore, going west along Lake Superior shoreline, and just the trail systems and all of that, I think we definitely have an advantage. People will drive. So I think you're going to see sort of that, people in Ontario are going to stay within Ontario for summer vacations. And, that's just going to happen. It's interesting. My youngest lad is part of a travel baseball team, actually based out of Sudbury. And we had a few U.S. tournaments. Those are all canceled, and we really don't know what the baseball season's even going to look like. So, only stay within Ontario. So that will then help promote other communities. So I think we're going to see people really still wanting to go on vacation, needing a break. especially people from larger urban centers. And definitely Tom and the team are very conscious of that and really working on promoting having people come here to our area and enjoy, what we have to offer in terms of our natural attributes.
And that was from my interview with Lisa Vezeau-Allen. She's the Ward 2 counselor here in Sault Ste. Marie. We actually had a 3-part interview that aired Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week. You can catch all those on Facebook video and also on YouTube. And speaking of videos, we have Doug Ford coming up this afternoon.
We do, with a full plate.
Yes, today, they're fielding basically a hockey team this afternoon.
Yeah, they certainly are, and all big profiles too.
Yes, so as normal, Ford and Christine Elliott will be there. But Rod Phillips, Minister of Finance, will be there. Vic Fideli, who has the longest title ever of Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation, and Trade.
And you know what's funny about that? He's like this tall.
Yeah,
So it's
and then... Yeah, actually, if he put his business card sideways, it might be taller.
Wow!
And then Monty McNaughton as well, who's the Minister of Labor, Training, and Skills Development. So that could be very interesting. And we're gonna.
Wow!
So we're going to a commercial, and we'll see you back in 1 minute.
Past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
It's Monday. Good
Yes,
morning.
it is.
Thank you, Casey Security, for your sponsorship. I just wanted to, when you mentioned you were talking about someone's business card and him being this big or this big, we are very much horizontal and vertical today. I don't know if that was such, you should call me.
Yeah, well, I have a shirt very similar to that. That would have been very embarrassing.
You should call me. We should plan. And we got crap for wearing stripes today, but oh well.
Yeah.
Listen.
Whatever, producer Mike. Yeah.
So you forwarded a very funny article over the weekend to the group. We have a group chat, and why don't you tell us about it?
Okay, so I was looking for the pictures of Vegas because there's a bunch of people there. It's reopened. They're not wearing face masks. They're not social distancing. So I went to their local newspaper. It's called the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
What's it called? The Review-Journal?
Yes, Las
Sounds
Vegas
so
Review-Journal.
sophisticated for Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's about as sophisticated as Vegas gets. And one of their title stories was, and we'll see it on screen here, Las Vegas strip pools are reopening, at least for hotel guests. That seems to me like a very poorly worded title, because it sounds to me like if you're at the hotel,
We are going to skinny
you
dip.
can go to the pool and strip. So I'm not sure who wrote that line, but as soon as I saw it, I started killing myself laughing. I'm like, I got to send this to everybody.
I bet you it was the mayor.
Yeah, it's probably the mayor that wrote that line. Oh yeah, come back to our hotel guest strip pools.
It's okay. We're going to
And we'll all just lick the cards and hand them around.
And what did you say about New York City? 400,000
400,000 people are going back to work today in New York City.
And I guess they lifted their ban, their 8 o'clock cutoff ban.
The curfew thing?
Yeah, their curfew ban, I think, was last night, because I know they were reopening today. And
So
400,000 and people playing strip
yeah,
in the pools.
Yeah, and
Lots of DNA.
apparently Vegas is actually pretty full.
It is. People must have been dying to go
I know.
gambling.
I don't get it. I wouldn't go within 100 miles, but sure.
Okay, let's switch to some local news and
Yes,
get away
go
from
for it.
Vegas and the whole US of A. On June 5th, there was a couple of things that went down. Two 22-year-olds were arrested. Hillary McKinley.
What is it with
and-
people the same age getting arrested in this town? The other one last week was two 28-year-olds.
Well, I guess people hang around
I guess
people
so.
their own age.
Yeah, like us.
I don't know. Anyways, they had a search warrant. The cops went in. They found a couple shotguns. One was loaded, and apparently one of the shotguns was stolen from back in February. So that being said, they're in trouble, and they are and they have to appear in court on August 17th, and that was on Bay Road, the 0 to 100 block, actually. Now, listen, I was saying this to you this morning. Very often, there's a lot of impaired driving charges around here.
Yes, there is.
And I find that hard to believe in this day and age, but this one was exceptional. It was over by St. Mary's River Drive, and they found officers received a call of a vehicle stuck on a curb on your location right there. So the 0 to 100 block, actually. So right at the tip, right at the beginning. Upon arrival, officers located an accused in the driver's seat. He stunk of booze, and not only did he smell of booze, but he left the evidence in the cup holder. So I don't
so you
think
had a traveler with him.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Nothing
he
like
had a
taking a tumbler of booze with you to...
62-year-old Joseph Charton was charged for impaired driving, and didn't say how he got stuck on the curb. And I went for a run
How do you
around.
get stuck on a curb? Like, don't you just press the accelerator and...
I'm thinking he just gave up at some point. He got
Okay.
stuck, and I mean,
He's like, oh man, this is too hard. I'll
didn't-
just sit here and drink my traveler.
if you're that intoxicated where you forget to actually move the traveler out of the cup holder, I don't think you're gonna have a good excuse as to why you're on a curb. But anyways, Border Patrol is reminding people that crossing the border for recreation and tourism is currently a no-no. The government of Canada has introduced border measures to limit the spread of COVID-19, as we know, and with the onset of warmer weather, boat and pleasure crafts, oh God, I love boats. Anyways, craft owners may be inclined to take their boats across the border or on inland or coastal waterways, or to come to their cottages in Canada. So don't do it.
Because it's still to like the 21st of June.
19th, I think.
19th,
June
yeah.
19th, yeah.
So we've still got a bit of ways to go before they decide if they're going to keep the border closed or open it back up.
Yeah. So, you had something about. Actually, I want to say one more. The troops could be called in to testify in the lawsuits against the long-term care homes, which I assume that would be going
Well, they
to
just took
happen.
over another long-term care home in Vaughan over the weekend as well. They sent the troops
That's
in.
8 now. 8 homes now.
8, I think, yeah.
I know it's so the shocking details that they witnessed, I guess. I mean, why would they call them into play? So we're going to come right back. We want to talk a little bit about Trudeau taking a knee and some protests that happened on the weekend. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
See you in a sec.
the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back to Special Report. I'm Chris Oldcorn here with Colette Linden.
Hello, hello.
Over the weekend, there was many protests across this country and across the U.S. and also elsewhere in the world. There was protests in Europe as well, protesting racism. Trudeau on the weekend went to the protest in Ottawa and took a knee. And we have a photo coming up for you for that.
Yep.
A video. And he was also wearing a black mask. And as you can see in the video, that's Trudeau. And he's taking a knee with several other people around him.
Well, that was nice of them to be a part of that, and thank him for that.
Yes.
Also has great hair. It's not mine. I have a hashtag in this together SSM video I'd like to share with you. I have yet to visit St. Ignace. Have you been there?
No, I was actually planning on going there.
You kind of looked like you didn't know for a second. I was like, oh my God, what is he going to say?
Well, I was going to actually be going there on a weekend. Like, I was going to go in early April down there with my girlfriend for the weekend.
Oh, romantic getaway.
Yeah.
Jealous,
but then the border got closed, so...
No, oh, okay. Well, you have to go because it is beautiful. I've never been, but I mean, I've driven by it, obviously going to that awful Mackinac Bridge, but just because I hate the bridge, not that it's an awful place. St. Ignace has a lot of stuff going on. I had the chance to speak with Laura Brown, and she wants everybody to know that they have postponed some events, but not canceled them. And here's that interview I'd like to share with you right now. Really affected you. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on there?
Sure. So when this all happened, of course, just like you, we had to close, stay at home. We were fortunate that it was during our slow time. We had a great winter and we're looking forward to a great summer. So I'm hoping this is behind us for the rest of the season. But yeah, it definitely happened at a good time if it was going to happen.
Yeah. And we do know that Michigan was hit hard with COVID-19. Particularly in the other end of Michigan, so that's great. But that's going to affect your travel and your tourism business for sure. Have you talked about the numbers and how that's going to affect, and have you come up with any plans to get around that?
Yeah, actually, we have a community health task force. We've gathered a few times and decided what we can do to protect our community along with the visitors coming to the area. We have free masks.
And that was Laura Brown at St. Ignace. Thank you, Laura, for that for that interview. Very important. It's only like 45 minutes from here, so when they open the borders up and when things calm down.
It's not far.
No, not at all. You know, I definitely will be going, and I'm looking forward to some of those events. That full video can be seen on our YouTube page under the hashtag In This Together SSM section. So what's going on? What else do you have for us today?
Not much.
What? You have nothing else to say?
I don't have any interviews today, but my normal show will be on at 7 p.m. tonight. You're on at 5 with the news. Plus, we got news all day long as well.
Yeah.
We'll be back at 1 o'clock for Special Report. Thank you very much to KC Securities for sponsoring Special Report. And it was nice to see Daniel this morning.
It was.
And that he wasn't here for something wrong. He was just here checking on us, which is nice, because that's what he does. But there wasn't anything drastically wrong or anything. He was just here. And so we will see you at 1 p.m. We'll also see you all day long with news updates. And I'll see you at 7 as well.
Have a good Monday.
Have a good morning.